Welcome to Philly Coco Presents Side Project Spotlight, episode 96. This is developers' journey into making cool stuff. I am Kotaro.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Aaron.
And we are Philly Coco, a Philadelphia-based Coco Heads community focused on Apple development that primarily, but not exclusively, means iOS, Mac, tvOS, watchOS, and visionOS development. Philly Coco's true desire is to take you higher on your own developer journey. Whew. All right.
Nice.
And what a journey we're going through right now.
Well,
race to the finish line.
Yes, race to the finish.
I
That's a good
the
title.
app launch goes as smoothly as the intro.
Well, speaking of app launches, or a launch in general, we have just, as of this recording, are brought aware to us. We knew a couple of days beforehand that Apple is having an event on September 9th that they're going to announce a few things. I'm not entirely sure what those things are. I've heard some rumors.
I've seen rumors, but I'm pretty sure they're going to announce a new iPhone.
Yes. New iPhone, and pretty much certainly the RC builds for iOS, all the 26 operating systems.
Yeah, that's the important thing. I still have not run iOS 26 on actual hardware.
Wait, you don't have it on your daily on your phone?
No,
what?
I haven't.
You don't
because
you don't want that liquid glass?
I do, but I don't. I want my phone to work and all my apps to work. That's the
your
problem.
phone will work. It will just be your battery might be actually this recently it's been okay, but yeah. Your battery might take a little bit of a performance hit. You never know.
Well, my battery's already old, so I don't need any more pressure on it.
Yeah, I
need Lightroom to work, which I always seems to break on the betas, and my authenticator apps, and every time I update, I'm in the betas, like something serious breaks, so I haven't done it. I need another phone, but I don't live the day and night iPhone lifestyle. It's just too expensive now. It's inflation, man.
You could do the pay. Was it pay a little now, pay as go?
Yeah, or the upgrade program and get a loan for my phone, which I used to do, but it felt terrible to do that.
Yeah,
I hated having a loan to have a phone.
I mean, it is at least no interest, so you just have to pay in 24 easy installments.
I saved up my pennies, so I'm gonna buy the phone this year. It's always a painful purchase because it's so expensive, but I'm gonna get myself the latest iPhone Pro Max, even if they come out with a new Air phone, because I want the most advanced cameras.
You don't want to wait for the foldables.
That's not this year. I'm not going to wait anymore. I need a phone that can run Apple Intelligence stuff.
Yes, that's true.
So I'm not going to wait like 2 more years. Do I? Well, actually, it's a good point. I thought I did because I thought we were going to use it for this app, and now maybe it won't be in 1.0. So,
okay.
Does Apple Intelligence do anything?
The intelligence part is hit or miss, but as long as you're not asking it to agentically program this app too much, I think you'll be okay.
I've used some of the newer iPhone models since my 14 Pro Max, and even the newer models have made enough improvements on the camera stuff, even though it didn't seem like it if you're just looking at the paper. That actually, I'm looking forward to an upgrade just for the camera improvements.
Got it.
Are they going to do anything crazy with the camera this time?
Well, I mean, the rumor is there's always rumors of crazy stuff, like maybe like more zoom. Like I have a 3x zoom, which I kind of like, but then they went to 5x. Now they might go to 8 or something. Yeah,
you just spy on your neighbors, just from long distance.
No, I was at a
8 cameras on the back.
No, you know what helps? It helps when you're at like a Volbeat concert, like I was on my birthday, and I wanted to take a picture of the band up there, and it's like I can't quite zoom enough. But my friend Mike, who was next to me, he has maybe a 16 something, a 16 or something. Anyway, he had more zoom, and his wide angle also seemed to be a little better. I got decent shots, but I always enjoy better camera improvements, and so I used to upgrade every year. I haven't done that in a while because it's like close to $2,000 now for phones. It's like you could buy multiple MacBook Airs almost for one of these phones anymore.
You get yourself a
how many minis? How many Mac minis?
How many minis are you gonna get?
We should just price the phones by how many Mac minis can you get for one iPhone.
You can just start carrying around a Mac Mini instead.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right. Like
This
the
is
little
no
3D
screen.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a new camera, so I just hook everything up, and I have like a camera. Well, there's a new firmware update for my camera that makes it work like a webcam with just plugging in a cable without special software. So I can plug it into my Mac Mini that I have running in my backpack with a giant battery. So I have like 50 pounds on my back, and then I might use that will be my camera. And then I guess for actual phone stuff, I can use my watch, my Apple Watch with cellular, so I can call people on the watch, and it'll sound terrible, but I'll have a lot of the same functionality. And then I guess the Mac Mini can do iMessage and stuff, but I would need a keyboard and mouse, so that's pretty tough. Maybe like a foldable one that I can kind of wear around my neck, or have some kind of custom, like returning. I mean, this would be quite the thing to see if we actually implemented it. Yeah, what are you doing? I'm running. It'd be like those guys. Remember the '90s, and they had those like TV shows like Beyond 2000 or something, and there used to be some of these TV shows, and they had like the cyborg guys, like the early pioneers of people that were creating like DIY wearable tech, like they had like a little old camera,
Jeez.
like webcam on there, and they had like wireless. They had to have a backpack with antenna, and everything.
Yeah,
That's
you
basically
know
what we're dreaming up here, except that I could run an LM while I'm walking around on my back.
Yes.
With my Mac.
You almost be like that kid in the Goonies, but
Yeah, exactly. Be like, what was his name?
I forgot his name. I should know it, but I forgot
Yeah.
it.
But yeah. So anyway, the September 9th event.
Yeah. Right. So now for us, that's important because we had been working on a little side project that we codenamed Bento Fit, but we quickly know we do realize we have to rename this app, but that's getting ahead of what
List.
it's on the list. Oh, that's getting ahead of ourselves. So what exactly is this side project for people who it's their first time listening?
Yeah, Bento Fit, the story so far. We wanted to create a little dashboard app of specific health kit metrics and to make them a little easier for us to access, to surface from Health Kit, because the health app is great, but it doesn't work exactly the way we want to. And the three of us wanted to work on some kind of health app, and we realized we're kind of three positions on a fitness journey. Between Kotaro is kind of in maintenance mode. He's already fit enough. He walks and he cares about step counts, that kind of thing. I'm in the middle where I'm working on like actual fitness, regular workouts, and I care a lot about heart metrics and weight. And then Aaron here, who we've already determined, if you listen to the previous podcast, is basically a fitness god. And he can already do any athletic activity at the level of a superhuman. And so he cares about like how many trillions of miles can he run in a year and that kind of thing. So very specialized charts. And so we're three levels of the fitness journey between Kotaro and God Aaron. So that's what we wanted to.
And we have him running across water at this point. Is this where this mythology
Yeah, I
is
believe
going?
so.
I need to put in miles per year.
Miles per year, yeah. So the way this thing works, though, is we have a select group of metrics. And I actually showed this app off to somebody the other day. And he was saying, I like this idea of having visualizing stuff, like your health kit metric, because he uses health kit, the health app, but he wanted to be able to like overlay stuff to see like correlations. And I was like, that's a great idea. I think what we'll do is I'll put in a little way for you to send in requests, because we're only going to have like a limited amount of features on release.
Yep.
But for now, it's like that. And so we're going to have you'll download the app, you'll run it, and you can select from a subset of metrics. And it's displayed in kind of a bento box style grid layout with a really cool design that Kotaro did with some shaders, and kind of looks like Tron-ish in dark mode, and like Casio watch with / teenage design in light mode, something like that.
Close enough.
Yeah. So
I was thinking closer to like a Honeywell home device.
Nobody knows what Honeywell is.
It's
like
the crappy version of a Nest.
Of Nest.
It's like a budget Nest. It's like a budget Nest display. Yeah. But like in Japan, like they have these things all over the place at the home. My parents constantly have these constantly beeping devices. Ooh, and you got a nice little.
Yeah. So that is the app, and we need to get it done.
Yes.
Because at the time of recording this, it's like August 27th. We have a hard deadline. It needs to be in the store, right, by September 30th.
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the
so-
ship-a-ton. Yeah.
Yes. So we're also participating in the Ship-a-Ton Hackathon, which kind of getting ahead of ourselves in that one more thing, but we'll get back to that. It's basically a hackathon. That's a 2-month hackathon that we're trying to participate in. But in order to do that, we need to have something shipped. So,
Well, we're
We're
in the race to the finish line
right.
segment of the journey here, building an app.
So at the moment, we're basically we're running out of time. So now we have to sort of say, okay, well, what do we have that's on the chopping room floor that we can just like strip out?
Yeah.
So one of them is that we had ideas that widgets was going to be a fairly prominent component of this app. A watch extension was another one.
Before we talk about dropping stuff, what do we have left to do? So
Better
we're going to get to
question.
that discussion. So the main topic today is this: when you're building a side project or any kind of app, but especially like a side project, you have like a hard deadline like we do. There's going to come a time where you have to make some decisions for 1.0.
Yes.
Like what do you need to do? What are you going to cut? And so you're going to listen to us kind of have that discussion live right now because we only have a couple weeks, 3 weeks maybe to get this done.
Yeah.
What we have, let's start with what we have left to do. Number one, we need to do the monetization. Was probably the biggest thing we have left to do. We haven't done that at all. That needs to be done for the ship-a-ton. And the monetization strategy I think we were talked about was a pretty straightforward one. You think it's some kind of an in-app purchase, either a subscription or straight up one to open up more boxes, right?
Yeah, so the idea is that I think for us it's kind of hilarious. It's like the inverse motivation. Like we don't want a lot of. This is basically a two column interface. Like
there's
if
two
you
columns.
if you know Bento UI, basically you would have like these things that are like almost like a jigsaw puzzle or like a Tetris kind of like configuration. Not that extreme, but close enough. But the idea is that we would only have like either like a row of two single data point items or a row of sort of like a trend, like a line graph that will define your trend.
Graph.
And that's kind of like our V1 idea of like and we'd only have like maybe up to 4 rows of that as like your free version. Now, and that would be like so that would hopefully force you to sort of like figure out which of the elements.
Rows. Let's be really aggressive. But
Get
we
you
have
to
some
pay
limited
more.
number of rows.
All right, 3 rows. Got
Whatever.
everything can work in 3s because 4 is technically a bad luck number in Asian cultures. But
Okay.
Yeah, we could do something like that. But the thing about the 4-row idea is that it fits pretty nicely in a typical iPhone screen. So that's why I sort of picked that number.
Which
4 rows.
device though?
15 or 16.
Well, this is a 16 Pro.
So like if you get rid of like all the ones at the bottom,
it fits. It fits with some space on the bottom with a Pro, and if it's a regular, it'll fit with a little bit less space on the bottom.
Yeah. So what I would suggest as an idea is like as a one-time fee is to just maybe like for $3 or something. We could change the business model later thanks to Revenue Cat's fantastic UI.
Yeah, they're not a sponsor, but they're part of the contest we're doing. We have to use Revenue Cat, so
yeah,
we're going to talk about them.
So you can, we can just expose the rest of it, right? So we can in terms of like allowing the user to like ruin this UI and have an endless amount of data points that we can provide.
So I don't know if Aaron's seen that I made we're mixing things in here, but I made a managed card screen. So in the managed card screen, this is where we could have like the available cards. Maybe we could have them disabled down here, or you could have like X number in here. We could put some limit on the enabled cards, and then you just can't add any more in here. And then you could see all the ones that are available that you can't have until you pay. We'll have to modify the screen.
Yeah.
Or we could also limit how many sets you can have. Like maybe you can only have one set.
Yep.
Because I'd put the option here to create multiple sets of cards, so you can have pre-filled ones as part of the onboarding. I was playing with mine. It was like Steve's journey, Culture's journey.
I mean, actually,
Godwin.
Aaron saw this actually, and one of the things we were talking about is like, well, they're technically like different bento boxes.
Oh, yeah,
so we can make different bento boxes.
Yeah, we can call it bento boxes, a
Like,
card set. That's a good one.
Like a bento set or whatever, right? Or like, if we're like full on this bento metaphor, but yeah, that's something we want to work on. It's kind of like, I don't know, mid level of priority, but the revenue cat integration is definitely high on that list.
That's kind of top of the list, because we can't submit to ship a ton without it.
Yep.
So we need to do that. We also need to finalize a name, because we're pretty sure we can't use Bento Fit as is.
You want to run that through your T3. see if it brings
have
it.
ChatGPT look it up. I mean I have
GPT-5 should be good for that, right?
It's okay. I've also used Gemini a lot to do it. It seems to do a good job searching stuff, but I thought we had encountered like things that were kind of similar space that already in the App Store we couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to step on any toes, because don't feel like getting like a letter. Like change your name. So I don't know. We had to change the name. Our original name was like Swim Walk Run too, which is not the best. We got Bento Fit Swim Walk Run.
You know what sucks is that every time I look for this project, we name it that code name. The initial name was Swim Walk Run. Yeah. And so now I forget, like, I'm always forgetting, like, it's not called Bento Fit project.
Yeah. Well, this is why in other projects I will like come up with like a code name that's completely meaningless, like Chupacabra or something, and like that's what it would be called. Maybe that's a little too far, because it's like, because you have no idea what it is when you think about it. But like some kind of code name that really doesn't, that you don't have any kind of emotional attachment to, because it's going to be your SKU identifier or whatever forever. And I think that's fine, because you can change the brand.
Yep.
So we do need a new name, and that's actually kind of tough. Finding a name is hard, but we might need to just compromise and make something that works. Because I like Bento Fit, but I don't. But you're the one who I think brought to attention, Culture. We can't really use it, or maybe we shouldn't.
Well, right, we can revisit it, but
yeah, we have to revisit it. Like maybe there's a way to use it.
There was like a website or something that had it, and an app that had it. But I'll revisit.
So we need to finalize name. Besides monetization and the name, that we definitely need to do, we need a website.
Mm-hmm.
We need website and links for App Store Connect, which sucks. I don't have any website stuff, even for the company we're putting this under. So I need to create like basic websites for everything.
So
wait,
websites. So your company name doesn't, you don't have a website. You have the domain, but you don't have a website associated with it.
It's not really a functional website there, no.
Okay.
So I need to do that. We also have... we need at least one for the app. I don't technically need one for
Are you going to get
that's a good point.
the app its own domain? Is that part of the
I was just thinking
process?
that. Maybe we should, because this is like a group thing we're doing. So like we didn't even talked about if anybody actually is gracious enough to buy it. What do we do about if we ever get like a check from Apple? What do we do about it? But yeah, I mean, I a domain name for it might be a good idea. Probably a good idea to have its own domain name, because you can always forward that anywhere, but that way it's just kind of its independent thing. And I'm looking through App Store Connect too while you're looking at the app there.
Privacy policy.
Which we're going to say we're not storing anything. So
yeah.
We're sending a link though.
We're not sending. We'll probably keep it in like very US centric kind of markets, so we don't have to worry about any EU stuff.
Well, we're not restoring anything. We're collecting any information.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's all health kit stuff that's your own
Although
stuff.
I don't know if Revenue Cat does though.
Oh, Revenue Cat's using. Yeah, we have to look at that. Revenue Cat. Yeah, we have to look. I forgot about that on the nutrition label stuff that comes along with sometimes using the third party thing. So okay, we have to look at that. Privacy policy link. We can chat Jipidify one. Privacy policy. I'm surprised by actually. Well, because there's so many templates that were out in the world that those things are actually decent at creating those things, especially if it's simple. You can have a lawyer look at it if you care. So we also need screenshots.
Yep.
Like I heard there was some kind of new screenshot tool that was making the rounds, like to help you create nice screenshots, because that's like its whole art form now.
Yeah, heard that as well.
Yeah, and then the App Store video, if we want to do that, whatever that's called now, that's probably good. So these are all like marketing materials we need to do, I think. And then besides that, and then whatever, if we're doing, well, monetization we'll have to create the assets and the back end. But I think, is that it? Is that it for App Store Connect stuff? Name, pictures, App Store Connect, App Store Connect description,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's it. And then the links for things and screenshots.
Yeah. Marketing URL will be the same as the regular URL, support URL. So we'll just make it one of the same. Did you want to do like a GitHub page and just do it that way? Isn't there like
a GitHub page for the
for like what we did with Kanji Love?
Not sure we can do that technically. I mean, we can do it, like technically it'll work, but I'm not sure that is kosher with their GitHub pages in terms of use.
Interesting. Okay.
Because we're trying to charge money for it, so I'm not sure that it flies. But making a static web page is probably the way to go, and literally we can host that for free in a lot of places.
Yep.
So that's not a big deal. Big deal, especially because all we need is something like a Kanji Love.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking through.
Actually, we probably could use the template of Kanji Love.
Just hot swap. It works. I feel like, why is there like no description area in App Store Connect? I'm looking at it.
That's the one thing I can help you with is the description, or you can probably.
No, there's no box for it. Does it like where is it? Oh, is it under the version number?
Are you? I'm
okay, I found it. I haven't done an update in a little while, and like every time I'm in App Store Connect, they've changed it a little bit. I found it.
Well,
they have promotional text.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, there's a bunch of little text boxes we have to fill in here, and we also have to fill in all the ship-a-ton stuff, which some of it's a copy and paste job, and some of it's not.
Yeah. I can help you with that. So,
is there anything else we're missing? Anything think about anything else we need to do? We have left to do. We want anything in the app. Anything in the back end.
We definitely need to continue to, like, hardcore for the next week, get it to a state where we can really hardcore dog food this and like post the bugs or let us know like, hey, this needs to be fixed or that needs to be fixed.
But I mean, like any specific features that we absolutely need.
Features? No, I think this is fine for now.
Are there any more workouts or metrics?
I probably want to get some more metrics in there, but
okay,
last metrics
that shouldn't be too much of a big deal.
Okay,
no, we got that pretty straight out, and then polish.
Also,
polish.
I don't know if this is like a thing for the health kit thing where it prompts you to like add the different metrics or like allow access, and how to like. We don't actually write anything to HealthKit, so we should probably turn that off if that's an option.
Yeah.
Because we only want to read. We don't want to write. I don't know if like Apple checks that stuff.
I think I tried to turn that off and things broke last time. So
I don't know. It shouldn't. We're really not. We don't record.
We're not writing anything. So.
Yeah, agreed. We shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
So we need to fix that.
Yep.
And so I mean, if we do some polishing. And we get monetization in, I mean, and a few more metrics. I mean, this is usable, I think. It's more than usable. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't have the widgets. So that brings us to what are we going to definitely cut?
What do we have? Do not have time for
widgets. Widgets are the top thing where it's like, we wanted widgets. That was the whole point behind this originally. And it feels like it's something that should be straightforward, but it's always more complicated than it seems, right, with widgets?
It can be, especially when we're trying to do the challenge with this one is like we have so many options, right?
Yeah.
So many things that we want to have like presented, and then how would you present that in a widget on like one widget do you give, because we want to give them more than one widget, right? Like maybe I
would think you would add a widget for a single item, you'd add a widget for a double column, and the widget you'd select which things. But that's I'm thinking about there's a lot of plumbing involved.
Yep.
That is buggy potentially. So I think we're gonna have to punt widgets to a future version.
Yeah, a 1.2 or 1.3. Yeah, for sure.
But because I was hoping we could just we can reuse the views we already did for the most part, and then, but there's as I was working on other stuff for this last few weeks, like I had to basically disable widget stuff as I went along because of compiler errors. That I also stick to Watch. We have technically a Watch app for some reason in the back end, which I didn't make. I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
WatchOS app.
I don't know what happened, but they changed the way that mechanic worked. Where normally you just add it in. It's like inside your app submission as a extra thing. Like, you know how you add stuff in like messages, like
all that
iMessage.
That stuff is independent, I think, now because you can submit
as an watch
things independently.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of good because then we don't need to like have it on, but we probably should turn off that target.
Yeah.
And make sure that's not active.
Okay. So we're like old school shipping, just an app.
Just an app.
Just an app.
Vanilla app.
Vanilla app.
With dark mode.
With dark mode.
So we have.
How many people will download this? There's no widgets.
There's no dark mode. 1 star.
Well, there's a dark mode. There's no widgets.
Yeah,
it doesn't do anything. That'll be the error. It doesn't do anything.
That is kind of funny because technically they would be semi-right.
I mean, I think this. Yeah, let's hope app review doesn't be like it doesn't do enough.
It might.
I mean, if they come back with that,
it is still quite functional. I mean, it's not like it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. I doubt that would happen, but if that did happen, it would make for good pod content. So whatever. We wouldn't make a contest headline, but who cares at that point? Because then we get to have a story about app review nonsense, and everybody loves those. I still hope it doesn't happen though.
Yep.
We do have a few things we calculated in here. It's not just like reflecting exactly what's in HealthKit, because some of them are trends, and those are not actually just like pre-made things in HealthKit. You have to do a little bit of calculation.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I think that's good. So we're dropping widgets, dropping WatchOS app. That was the main thing.
Yep. The one thing that I might drop, so if you long press on any of those dashboard items, those things don't function. Like there's like a context menu that originally was there as like a placeholder. I don't think I want to add them in there. The share with friends makes sense, but we could probably hold off on that until
we gotta drop that. We can't do share with friends.
Yeah,
that gets dropped. But the reload data thing we don't even need because we did a pull to refresh on the whole screen.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no point. So I'll remove that as another PR because it's just a context menu. Long term though, Aaron and I was talking about this. This is actually a good place, at least for V1, to add a way to like change the trend. So like instead of like a weekly, you can do monthly and yearly, and that would be like a quick and dirty way to like change the way that line graph will like adjust.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing because there's like you can't. There's no content on the listeners. You can't see this, but like we're looking at the simulator, and the simulator has no data. So, but like some of the trend lines, it'd be nice if you could change. You know, like how zoomed in you are, for instance. Like if I wanted to have a monthly weight trend here, if I could switch it to like a weekly or yearly or something, that might be nice. Yeah, that's a possibility instead of having multiple ones listed.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
On the screen.
Like you could just have like I don't know what you call it, like I guess weight trends, and then and then you can adjust. Yeah, through the context menu. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know if you saw this, Aaron. Look at this.
It's the manage card section where you can change and add all your cards and reorder them. In whatever.
You can also get it so there's like an empty space if you want. Oh yeah, you can do this. You can put like one up here. I have it set up so that it will leave the space empty.
Excellent work.
Fully customizable.
Excellent work. Although it'd be hilarious if we get one star because they couldn't align that dashboard to the right.
There was. I mean, I thought about it when I was doing it. I thought about how I wanted it to work, and I was like, the most obvious thing is going to be that it just does what you expect it to do, which is like not. It's going to align left align because we're English speakers. Everything else in the app is left aligned.
I mean,
like,
I think I think that's for this version. I think that's fine. I think the other thing that I would want to do long term is like manually like drag and drop those so that they reorder. Which
I actually thought about doing that, but I decided against it because I thought it was actually a little more like, especially when you have a lot of stuff, it's actually way more awkward to do that than to go into our management screen. But people might decide that they want that, so we might have to change it. But especially if we have like a whole bunch more cards, we'll have to rethink all this stuff anyway, because if you have a whole bunch more metrics over time. But for now, this I thought was the most straightforward. So what I'm talking about for listeners is like we have a separate screen for managing cards, and you can create like a card set, like a selection of health kit metrics that you can see on your dashboard, and you can choose to enable them or disable them. They're listed in a list with switches on them, and you can kind of drag them to change their order. And then when you close the manage cards modal, it'll show you the reordered boxes on your dashboard. So you can't reorder them on the dashboard. But so we'll see about that.
I think again, like we're while we're dog fooding it.
Yeah, we'll see how it works.
We'll see how that works.
But I mean, for me, it's a dashboard. It's like the whole point of this was to open the app, quickly look at what you want to look at, and be done. I would say that if you want to have multiple sets of these things, as you were talking about, then we might want to have a quicker way of switching between them on the main dashboard screen.
Yep.
And so that might be something to add, but like I just want to open and look and then close it.
I almost feel like it'd be the kind of thing where you swipe to get to the
I thought about that.
version.
Yeah, we could do that.
But that's like that would probably be like a V. That'd be like a V 1.4 or 1.5. That'd be like further down the upgrade trail of that one.
Yeah. People listening are gonna have to buy this.
Yeah,
and give us our $3 or whatever, or $2 after Apple's fees or whatever, and then $1.50 after the tax man. And so for each, if we get enough of those fees, maybe we can add more features.
Maybe we can get a Mac Mini.
Whoa.
We just need like hundreds of people to buy them. A Mac Mini, we need like 400 people to buy this. I don't think that's happening right away anyway.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see. Actually, that would be crazy if we ever got enough people to buy this that they actually.
We should add like two items in the. One is a tip jar, and then another one.
Those things never work, so we definitely do that because it's easy.
Yeah.
Maybe people will feel sorry for us. No. We'll put a link to the podcast. We'll have a special podcast where just like, please give us money.
Yeah. Just put it in the tip jar.
Put it in the tip jar.
For that $1 you give us, we'll get about 60 cents of that.
Yeah, well, actually, we need, because of inflation, dollar stores don't exist anymore. Even they all charge like $2 for everything.
Yeah.
So we need like $1.50 from you. $1.50 jar. Inflation.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, yeah, this is we don't expect to make a bunch of money from this, but it is nice experience to do the monetization because I personally never done it before because my day job we don't monetize apps. Never did it before, and I always wanted to. And Revenue Cat always came up as like as a thing to try.
Yeah.
As an easy way. And I even setting up the back end for Revenue Cat was pretty straightforward. Actually, I had to go and get like API keys and crap, but that wasn't that hard. And then now it's all set up, and that's really cool.
I think the other thing, too, I guess, in terms of listening, if you were listening in on this, is kind of like all the things you have to prep for.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like an app submission. So if you're ever curious about that process, like you're gonna listen to us go through this.
Yeah. So what I got down here is we're cutting widgets, watch app, and share with friends because none of that's done anyway. And we talked about, I made a list of the stuff we've been talking about. We need to make changes in the app. Yeah, but otherwise, it's definitely, I got to dog food a little bit more now, but it's definitely dog foodable, whatever the word is.
Yes, we'll probably have
delicious.
A test flight. We'll probably extend a test flight build to have a bunch of our colleagues try it out. We certainly have shown it to people.
Well, now we need to get, what do we need for a public test flight? What do we need set up in App Store Connect? I don't think we need.
You
not
just
much,
need
right?
it to be privately approved by Apple. So I think we already have that done, right?
No, we never did a public test flight. We've only had
No.
internal. That's
well,
what we need to do
technically
next.
speaking, you just need to create an external group.
No, but I mean, is there any? I don't think there's anything beyond what we have in here. Like, do we need to fill out anything?
Oh, no.
To get the private.
You should be fine. Yeah. Aside from like contact info and some other things, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Well,
and then like and then just let the reviewer know like what this does and what are like if you need a username password, you know the deal. So,
yeah. I've done the thing before. Is there anything I think that I need to delete from in here?
I think as long as you don't have any like, it's kind of funny because we don't have any like real like if you're borrowing like I don't know, like Mickey Mouse assets or something like that for some reason, right? Then you have to get rid of those, but like pretty much everything else should be straightforward.
Facebook. What does this link go to?
I think I was just going to your Facebook.
Why is it going to Facebook? I forgot I even had a Facebook page.
I think that was the thing that when I Googled your thing, that's what came up.
That's sad. This was
okay.
See, this is what I need to replace. It's horrible looking.
Yeah.
And our privacy policy goes to also to Facebook for some. That's actually funny that the privacy policy goes to Facebook. Anyway, these are just temporary links anyway.
Yeah.
And Radar app is not gonna. Radar app actually does this.
And the simulator, no less.
Holy
that's
crap!
pretty good.
Is that actually
Nice.
working? And would that work in real life? Is that using the API?
Like they used to say, just trust us, bro, and it would work. But like you just had to like trust that when you connected to that API, it would do the thing that what it just did. But yeah, now it actually works in the simulator. Great.
Cool, and we can put more info in the credits, but I'm just looking through this. I mean, do you want to try to submit the current build? Do you want to do a little bit more before we do a public test flight build?
No, so let's submit now.
Okay, let me bring it up. We can see if we can do this together.
And for people who
how to do this together,
who don't know, in test flight, there is once we have it properly submitted, we can actually generate a public URL to give to whomever, and you can actually lock down how many actually can download it.
What do we want to call this new group?
Public testers.
Who's going to be the lucky people on the list?
Definitely our Philly Coco colleagues for sure.
Why are there
Do
no
we?
builds? Why are there no builds?
They're just going to get
We didn't.
We have to build it for public test flight. We've been building as internal tests, haven't we? That's a thing that they added.
Yeah.
That's okay, so we can't do it on the air right now. We have to make another build.
Yes.
We'll build it for test. So there's a thing that I don't know if you're listening. You may or may not know this, but did they start this 2 years ago or something, where they added other options? So you can do a internal test flight only build, which I guess is what we have turned on for Xcode Cloud, which I do at work all the time and for stuff, and I think it's actually really cool because then when you can't accidentally try to submit it, which is nice. But apparently we're doing that. I'm like, where are their builds? They're right here. No, they're not. But yeah, okay, we're gonna create a link and we're gonna give it. It's still kind of like invite only though right now. We're not gonna publish this link, are we yet? So we said we were gonna do that originally, or we said we might, but we didn't. We're not. Not.
The beauty about those, well, not the beauty, but like you can generate the URL. And then you can actually lock down how many can actually download from that URL. So we could do something like 50 to 100 or whatever, and just keep it within our because half the time like people that see that very few actually download it.
So we're also not setting up any analytics besides what Apple provides right now.
No.
So we're just going with Apple's just beautiful, gorgeous, amazingly useful reporting system and analytics, which just tell you absolutely everything.
Very up to date in real time.
Very up to date in real time. Tells you all the kind of information you want to know.
The UI does not look like it belongs in the 90s or the early 2000s at all.
I love how the apps on my App Store Connect page is just like a graveyard of stuff that never got anywhere. Just with no icons either, but drives Coco crazy.
It used to be you couldn't delete them either.
Oh yeah, right. I guess you can delete them now. I should delete some. So okay, so we're gonna do a public test flight build. probably before this podcast even comes out. So you're listening to it, we probably already have it done. I guess if you're interested, join the Philly Coca Slack.
Yep.
And say
and I don't know. I don't know, Steven. In this whole, they had, like, the Shibaton Discord has a test flight channel that you can also add.
I do have a Discord account technically under my name.
I can do it if you're okay with me posting that there.
Yeah, we can post it there. Once we have it all set up, you can post it there.
Yep.
I really need to get a website up though for this app. Maybe we'll change the website to like just an app website.
Like, there should be like a shameful award, and the Shibaton is like the least built in public award.
No, what do you mean? We've been podcasting about it for months. How much more in public can we do? Like, unless we're sharing code, which is not that
useful. Is true. No,
I guess we do code sharing, but
no.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So we'll hopefully get that done this week. We'll get it out there before the next time. And so I guess that's kind of where we're at. It looks like we are racing to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's in sight. There's a long list of things left to do, but most of these things are like paperwork things or things that we can probably get together pretty quickly in a week or two. There's not a lot of app specific stuff you can do besides monetization. Everything else is like polishing.
Yes.
If we can basically say no more features right now. Just make sure everything is as polished as we can be right now, except for metrics, which we can add more metrics whenever.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get that done. I didn't even talk about how I made the update I did.
I guess we can kind of do that as like a pseudo retro part, and how much money you spent. We could do it.
We're coming up on our limit, our self-imposed limit for the recording. But if you would like, we can finish it by. I can tell you how much did I tell you that I had spent.
For the last PR that you did, which was I think it was your card set work.
Yeah. It was the managed card screen.
You said you spent the $1.24 on that feature.
Is that what I said? $1.24.
And you said, I forgot which model you used. It was ChatGPT 5, I think. You were experimenting with that model.
I think I spent $2 or something that whole session
for the whole thing, for the whole session, right?
Didn't I say that? It's in the chat.
And we joked about it as like they're not that $2 was something like, because what you're really trying to do, right, with this money that you're spending, right, is like you're trying to get back time. Like, is this doing the level of work that is $2 that is worth you spending $2? Basically, one item at the Dollar Tree. Now
I spent. It says I told you I spent $2.17.
$2.17.
So that was the whole time I was at Human Robot Jenkintown, and it was quiet. So I had some happy hour chicken wings and ribs, and I made sure I didn't touch my keyboard with my hands. That's
sure you did.
No, the hardest part about vibe-ish coding in Human Robot at happy hour is not touching your keyboard with your delicious fingers. So I was doing that, and
your computer.
I know I don't have voice set up. I should have had the voice set up.
That would be amazing.
People do that. So I was editing things by hand too, but it was a lot of it was GPT-5. Apparently, after I did this, I got an email from OpenRouter that said GPT-5 was available, but I figured that out on my own. So GPT-5 just recently became available on OpenRouter without bringing your own key, so I can use my credits from OpenRouter for it. And it's just one endpoint, and it's a thinking model, I think, quote unquote thinking. And so I was just using it through Aider, and so when I set it up, Aider automatically used GPT-5. One of these GPT-5s, let me see. It used.
I thought that was all supposed to be meshed together now, and it would figure it out on its own.
Well, that's the router thing, but okay. So it's using GPT-5 endpoint and GPT-5 Nano as the weak model.
Okay.
So what that means in Aider, that's like Aider specific. So that means that the main model was the main GPT-5 one, which I'm not sure exactly what that means through a router, but the other one, Nano one, it used when it generated commit messages. I still have it turned on to make commit messages when it make changes through Aider. So it uses it, and that's actually typical for how Aider works, where it'll pick like the cheaper model to write things and another model to quote unquote thing. So I used it, and it actually, the thing I will say about GPT-5 versus Gemini and all the other ones I've used is it was slow, and that could have been partially the Wi-Fi, partially just the load or something. It was way slower than other models I've used recently, but that could be other factors. And although it basically just did what I asked it to do. It's not like quote unquote brilliant or anything. It wasn't like super better than anything. A couple times I still had compiler errors, but I was mostly, as I said, like it was doing things that are pretty straightforward. Like I need you to make a list. I need you to update this list so I can rearrange these things and make sure edit mode is on. So basically, instead of me writing out a bunch of menu code or a bunch of those Swift UI structures, I had it write it, so I didn't have to. Sometimes it probably would have been faster if I just typed it, though. That's how slow it was certain times. But I got to eat my wings while I was doing that. So, that's the advantage. So, but, it's fine. It also has this weird habit of adding space in for, unusual places, like excess white space. But it worked fine. It's not as expensive as Claude, and it seems to work no worse than that for the little bit of stuff that I'm using it for. As we've talked about before, I don't really like vibe code or anything. I'm not spending tons of money on the stuff. I'm just basically refactoring things or telling it specifically what to do, and then just have it write out the text so I don't have to. Especially with Swift UI, honestly, sometimes with Swift UI, some of these structures like menus and stuff, it's so easy to get them screwed up with the braces, and you start having like a couple of nested things, and I'm just like, you do it, robot. Like that sounds like you do it, robot. So, so I used that, spent $2.17. It was between making these changes and also while you and I were chatting, Kotar, I was trying to add some other feature. We were trying to add a animation when you change the cards or something, and it did not generate that well at all. I kept trying over and over and to make animation stuff, and it just completely screwed up every time, and it made it just worse and worse, and I just undid all of it. So
I decided to play around with a GPT-5 recently.
Through what though? Through the main interface
through two methods, through Copilot and then through the Copilot plugin, and then through
Copilot plugin in VS Code or something.
No, in Xcode.
Oh, in Xcode. You went through it in Xcode. Okay.
Yeah, and it is not good with trying to translate GSL to metal shaders, and then doing it.
3 examples in the training data.
And because metal is is a niche and a niche and a niche. It's where okay, yeah, I want you to do this as a stitchable, so it's easily accessible for Swift UI to access. And and I'm trying to be very specific. I'm trying to be good about like how I prompt it, and it's like I'm sure it's a skill issue, but it shouldn't feel like it.
Documentation.
I know, but
that
like the Apple has
Apple
has funny ways of like you can point it to the website, but will it actually go deep dive into the full website?
So, I've done that. I did that with HealthKit with Aider, and it actually worked. Like it did a better job at using the right API calls and copying what we had done before. Like, because that's what I was doing. I was telling like make new functions, but then like use the examples from Apple, like for best practices, whatever. And it kind of seemed like it worked. But part of it depends on what tool you're using, because like the Aider and Cursor and stuff, they orchestrate communication with the LM, and they have their own prompts they get injected in, and they have they handle like aspects of the tools that they provide. So it's like the actual client you use matters, and it can influence how this stuff works. Like Aider is designed to work a specific way, like Open Code or Claude Code, all those like CLI things work a different way. There's a different quote unquote agent that's part of, I guess, like Zed, I think that editor has one, or Cursor has one. So, you know, like during the GPT-5 launch, the Cursor people were on there, and they talked about how they made a bunch of changes to try to make it work with Cursor better. So could have just been Xcode's, you know.
So here's
it sucks, like as usual. You know, it could just be Xcode sucks in this respect. I don't know.
Yeah, fair on all the points.
Yeah.
I will say this,
they used
though.
T3 and it worked great too, as just a chat interface. T3 chat with it.
Right. I will say this, though. Having gone back and like went, all right, you know what? I'll just do it myself, right? And just spend this focused time, just me and the computer and Xcode, and just having just not being in the zone, because I know what that feels like, but just being in the presence of the code. I know that sounds really woo-woo mojo stuff, but it's just like, it was like, oh, you know, when I was done with doing the PR and done some of the work that I was doing with the onboard, I was like, yeah, you know, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and also these models, like, at least for Swift, they don't generate the best Swift code. Like, I make changes to it, and sometimes I'll just like, if you look at like how it does bindings and stuff, it's like, there's got to be a better way. It also, like, they really like to use booleans instead of like a proper enum for things. So it did that, and I made that change. You know, I was like, hey, really think these should be Boolean states instead of just like an enum? You know, I was like, so like I would make changes, but we're not going to get into it now. But again, it comes back to the idea that this replaces a knowledgeable software developer is kind of laughable, because there's, even if you know how to code, even if it can like write the code syntactically correct, there's more than one way to architect a software project, and like you have to have intentionality to it, and you have to at the very least have set up enough examples in and information in your project for the thing to copy in order for it to be somewhat reliable. But and, you know, in this case, it just out of the box, even GPT-5 just does things, and I'm like, that's obviously just because that's what the example code is. It's not the best example code in the world that it was trained on. And one of the things common things is not using enums well. Like, it'll generate enums if you ask it to, but it's like it'll just use state all the time. I don't know if you notice that. Like, if you do anything in a Swift UI view, it'll just make a whole bunch of states.
I mean,
that's not necessarily the best pattern.
That is typical, because there's so many examples of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, I don't understand the people who think this stuff's alive or whatever. It's like obviously a automation tool, but whatever. You do you, people, AI bros.
Well, I guess shall we call it?
We should wrap it up because we're a little over time.
Yep. So that's all we have for today. You can learn more about Philly Cocoa at phillycocoa.org. There you find links to our Slack group, meetup schedule, and contact info. If you're feeling generous, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever your podcast platform of choice is, and share us with all your developer friends. And one more thing, shipaton.com was the hackathon that we talked about. It is a cool hackathon that I think it's in its second year. It's a 2-month hackathon, so right now we're finishing up the first month. It started on August 1st, and by the time of this recording, you'll probably only have 2 more weeks. 2 or 3 more weeks.
You better get moving. Well, no, by the time you're listening to this, it should be, if you're watching day of, should be September 1st.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
So you have like 4 weeks.
But the thing that's cool about it is, like, you get they are giving away over $300K in prizes, and the grand prize will take home $60K. Again, we're not being sponsored.
We're just definitely going to get that grand prize. Our just beautiful app here.
And your app might, if you're one of the cool ones, your app might show up on Times Square. You get a trophy.
That would actually be hilarious if we actually won like $60,000. That would be more money than we could expect this app to generate in our entire lives. That would be hilarious.
That would be that alone would get us our studio display money. But it's a good opportunity especially for anybody who is trying to get some visibility, get something done,
like
get their apps like us.
Kicks you in the butt, man. You suddenly look at the calendar, you're like, oh my god.
Exactly. So if you have your own side project that's an iOS, it doesn't even have to be iOS. It could be
Yeah, anything, right?
Anything that can. One of the key
Use Revenue
caveats that it has to be able to use Revenue Cat, their SDK.
So it's probably a mobile app because that's what
yes,
they started as, right?
yeah.
Primary audience.
Yes, but you could do it in like Flutter, React.
You could, but
Kotlin.
only if you hate yourself.
You know, it's sad.
I'm sorry, Flutter people. That was a joke.
Oh no! We're gonna get so much hate mail. So
How?
yeah,
We'll publish an email address.
I know that's true. Well, we do technically, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
till
Don't
next
email
time.
us.
Please don't email us. We're just joking. We swear. Till next time. Good luck on your own developer journey. We will cheer for you always. Oh my goodness! But you're not wrong about that Flutter line.
Do you have any comment on Flutter, Aaron?
It's horrible.